Functions, they are really nothing else than an expression, or for that matter, a rule of the relationship between two variables. Now, this sounds really complicated, but if you look at the example, we have the one variable, which is the independent variable, which is x, and we've got the dependent variable, which is y, okay, and the rule in this case is 3x plus 5. So we can really compare a function with a car, motor car, okay. You have an input, which in the motor car would be the petrol, okay. Then in the engine, there are a whole lot of operations happening. So the operation is the engine, and the output, when you switch it on and the engine works, is basically that you drive or that you cause movement. Okay, so this is how we can actually compare a function. It really is nothing else than a fancy way in expressing a mathematical relationship between two variables. Okay, so if you look, just for another example, if you look at any straight line graph, then for each coordinate we will always have an x and we will have an y. The x is the independent variable. If you put in a certain value of x, then that y will be fixed for the straight line graph. Okay, and for this value of x, you will find another value for y. Okay, but they still have the same relationship. Right, so how do we write functions? There are different ways. We usually say f of x, then x is in bracket, equals 3x plus 5. Okay, or you can say f of x and then an arrow 3x plus y, all right? Or you just simply could say y equals 3x plus 5. So fx, people, stands for the output, okay? And the x here in this case is basically the input. Right, now this sounds very complicated, but let's look at an example and then you will find that it is really easy. Okay, they give us the function f of x, which is 2x plus 7. And they say you must find f of 3. Okay, now this, people, stands in the place of the x, isn't it? So they tell you that the value of x is 3. So f of 3 equals 2. Now in the place of x, you will write a 3 and then plus 7. Okay, and then you just simply calculate that, then that gives me an answer of 13. This is all that it really is. Importantly here, people, is that they give you the value of x, okay, because they ask you to find f of 3. All right, now in another example, okay, the function g of x is 7 minus 2x, right? And they ask you to find g of 1/2. So once again, people, 1/2 stands at the place of the x, isn't it? So the value for x is negative 1/2. So g of negative 1/2, take your formula, which equals 7, take down the negative 2, and then in the place of x, write a negative 1/2. Okay, if you then calculate your right-hand side, you have negative 2 times negative 1/2, which is negative 1, and 7 minus 1 gives me the value of 6. So this is really the most basic and simple questions on functions, is where you have to evaluate functions. Okay, and in this case, they have given you the x. So really, all that you do is that you substitute x, substitute x with the value they have given, which in this case was 3. Okay, and then you calculate your right-hand side. The same we have done here. We substituted x with negative 1/2, because that is what they have asked you to do.